Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and the compact sedan is unfortunately a dying breed here in 2026. More manufacturers are cutting their smaller, more fuel efficient, less costly options and giving us crossovers in their place. So essentially the subcompact car is dead. No more Nissan Versa, no more Kia Rio, no more Ford Fiesta, no Chevy, that would have been the Spark and kind of the Sonic as well. All of those are dead. This is kind of the entry level now. And Nissan is keeping theirs fresh with this entirely redesigned 2026 Sentra. This one you're looking at here in front of us is the SR trim, and it's just about as fully loaded as you can make an SR. So this one, as you're seeing it, and as you're seeing the graphic below, costs $32,000. But the Sentra itself, with all the same guts and bones, is coming in the mid to low 20s. But despite looking remarkably new and remarkably different from the outgoing Sentra, this is in a lot of ways the same sort of formula. We still have a naturally aspirated 2-liter inline 4, we still have a CVT, we still got 5 seats, and we still have a sedan. So today I'm going to go through my pros and cons with you. We're going to take a look at some of the new aspects of the vehicle and talk about, is it worth your money compared to something like the Corolla, compared to the Civic, compared to the Mazda 3, the K4, and the Elantra. I'm sure I'm missing something out there, but essentially that is the competitive lineup. And this is a competitive class. Typically people who are buying in this segment, very cost conscious and very value focused. They want to get the most for their money, because this is probably, if they're deciding to buy a new car, they're definitely making a bit of a stretch, most likely. I mean, there are some pragmatic people who are living well within their means and just are buying a car that it doesn't need to be any larger and doesn't need to be any more expensive. But I think the brands are kind of going for those more newer, younger shoppers here for these lineups. There's not too much to go over from the overview perspective. I mean, we've got an entirely new mug. I kind of like the styling, but I was talking with Nathan and he said that he thinks it's ugly, so I wasn't able to put styling in as a pro. But I really think the back end is cool. I think the tail lights that they've done here, I know they're a bit in shadow right now, but look at that. Like the key sensed me here and the rear lights lit up. I think it's pretty cool with the diffuser and everything. This SR trim giving us two-tone paint color, although that does cost extra. Yeah, let's get right into it here with my cons. And the cons are interesting for the Sentra because it really doesn't do that much poorly. It's a very solid model. Like a lot of the other new Nissans to come out in the last year or two, they've really been intentional with their cars. They're really trying to make them good. The problem is, it's the competitive set. They're going against so many other good cars in this segment that it is really hard to stand out. So my cons are perhaps a bit simple and basic and straightforward for this car. But the first one is, at least in this SR upgraded grade with the premium package and the SL, they gave us a 360 camera view, which is cool, but no ventilated seats. And for me, for a car that's got a fairly decent greenhouse like this and isn't very large, I don't really need a 360 cam. I'm not like, it's not really hard to park into tight spaces or my garage or anything like that. However, ventilated seats, that would be much nicer to have. So strange to me that Nissan chose all 360 view camera as opposed to something like ventilated seats. Next con, it's not exactly the engine itself. It's just the fact that the fuel economy isn't that remarkable, especially if you're going to be driving this around town. I mean, you're going to be looking high 20s on average, just kind of putts and driving and everything. We got 37, I think it was, on our highway fuel economy test, which is fine enough, totally good. But compared to cars in this class that you can get a hybrid with, that are dealing with smaller turbo motors, your fuel economy is just not going to be that great. And again, for a class of vehicle where people are kind of cost conscious, I mean, just getting this basic 2-liter, in some regards, is going to be a good thing from reliability, because there's less to go wrong with just a naturally aspirated 2-liter. But it's just there. It's not very exciting. It's not very powerful. It's not very fuel efficient. So it's kind of hard to get excited about. Now let me just say right here, some people are going to complain about the CVT. I think that's a bad move. I really do. First of all, if you're the new owner of this car, First off, you got a 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. Second of all, you're probably going to wrap it around a tree or trade it in for something larger and more exciting before this CVT gives you any sort of problems. And if you maintain the car properly and you let it warm up properly and you drive it properly, this CVT is going to last a long time. And we'll see when we're out on the road. I actually think this transmission fits the nature of the car. It takes off very smoothly, it's progressive, it keeps the engine in nice low revs because we got a little bit extra meaty torque from that larger displacement engine. Larger for the class, I should say. So the CVT complaints are not valid for this car. It'd be one thing if it were a sporty car, but it's not. It's a pedestrian, it's a daily car. CVT is fine. Next con, and this one again is going to seem real pedantic, but I think Right Lane Hog would have my back on this one. No seat back pockets. Not only is there not a seat back pocket behind the driver, but not even behind the passenger. And you're like, oh, come on. If you're talking about a smaller car like this, you probably want to take advantage of every little bit of storage possible. I mean, there are times that I put snacks in the seat back pockets. I put my water bottle in the seat back pockets. So to not have that at all, again, minor, but it's a frustration. The next two cons flow together to a degree. One, there's nothing special about the Sentra. It comes in one engine option, one transmission option. Neither of those are anything special. Yeah, it's got features that you're going to want to have optionally, like heated seats and steering wheel and the Bose sound system. Like I said earlier, the 360 cam, a little bit strange. But nothing that's really standing out in any particular way. So it's pretty much just a car that you get in and drive. And you could argue that there's absolutely a merit to that, and I would give you that. But again, when we're talking about a class of vehicle that is so competitive and every manufacturer is trying to have something that stands out. Look at the new Kia K4. They're giving it to you in a cool hatchback option, and you got ventilated seats and AI built into the car that is surprisingly powerful. And then you've got things like the Elantra and the Civic and the Corolla that all have their hyper powerful options and their manual transmissions and their hybrids and hatchbacks. What else? Oh, Jetta. The Jetta has an amazingly fuel efficient engine, and that's about all the Jetta has going for it at this point. I wish the Golf were still offered here in the States. So does the Sentra do a lot? Well, yes. I mean, we've got big screens, we've got features that you're going to want. It's easy to drive, but it doesn't stand out and compete against the competition in any way that makes me go, yes, you should buy the Sentra instead of any of those other cars. And even from a pricing perspective, it's competitive, but it's not the cheapest. Now, maybe you could walk out of a Nissan dealer paying less than you would for any of those other cars, but at least from an MSRP standpoint, which is what we can go off of here, the K4 starts lower than the Sentra, and the K4 gives you a longer warranty. Yeah, something to consider. Now, it'd be one thing if we could get in here with a manual transmission, or we had some sort of really fuel-efficient hybrid, or if it were particularly powerful or something like that. But there's just not much that stands out about this car. Coming back here static for my pros. And first off, since my brother Nathan wouldn't let me put styling in general as a pro, because I guess that is quite subjective, I'm going to at least put the colors as a pro. This one you're looking at is called Energetic Ember, but I just appreciate that in this class of vehicle that you're looking to stand out a little bit and stuff, Nissan is giving you a bold color palette. You get the very vibrant blue, you get this vibrant orange, you get a red. Obviously there's your grayscale. There's nothing crazy, but the colors look good and they help the car stand out. And if you appreciate this two-tone, then you can pay extra and get that as well. And on top of that, the wheels look nice. Next pro, and again, this one's gonna sound a bit pedantic, but some people probably appreciate it. The car makes pleasant noises and sounds. So you get in, you start it up, they're very nice sounds. And if you were to do something like drive without your seatbelt on, just listen. That's very nice. That's very calming and soothing. Not that driving without your seatbelt on should be calming, but it feels like you're getting the sounds and experience from a car that's much more expensive. Next pro, the general interior experience in here. This is a comfortable and well thought out interior. The center console is very nicely padded and goes far enough forward that my elbow is always touching something soft. Straightforward shifter. I don't love shifters. Actually, I don't love shifters that can accidentally go all the way down past D if you don't stop pushing the button, but it is a straightforward shifter. Not a ton of piano black here. There's a little bit of piano black around the shifter, but in general, this is mostly non-piano black plastic. Cup holders that actually fit a 32-ounce metal water bottle. That's pretty cool. Wireless device charger up there, 2 USB-C ports. It's an attractive interior. It's a functional interior. The rear seats have a great amount of legroom. I like the two-tone where it's light up top, dark on bottom. Also, something I don't often see, especially in cars where budget is a big concern, is a grab handle for the driver. I like to drive like this oftentimes on longer highway trips and rest my arm up, drive with my other hand. So I think the interior is all very nicely laid out. I like that we have a volume control with physical track controls, physical climate control buttons. I like the steering wheel that allows me to hold the bottom, and the leather feels nice. So, or maybe it's fake leather. Either way, feels good in the hands. It's a good interior. Next pro, the sound system. We have a dedicated review on the 8-speaker Bose in here, so you can find that linked down below. Sounds good. It really does. It's powerful, got good bass. Everyone's going to come in and be like, oh, how does it compare to the JBL and the Corolla? Or how does it compare to the Civic, the Bose, or anything like that? It's up there. It's up there with the best. Well, I take it back. It's below the Mazda 3 Bose, but it's in the running of everything else below the Mazda 3 in this class. So very competitive, and I would say it's a step up from the previous gen Sentra, absolutely. The next pro, Nissan's Pro Pilot Assist, which is their active lane keeping out here on the highway. It works surprisingly well, and a lot of cars in this class are starting to have very good active lane keeping. So again, it doesn't necessarily make it stand out. However, 2 things I really appreciate about it. One, its competency. Keeps you nicely in the lanes, doesn't give up easily. Let's see if we can get it enabled up here. Let's go and set. There it is, sees the lanes, and it essentially drives for you. But what else I appreciate is it's not audibly interruptible very often. So right now, it's flashing at me to say, hey, you got to put your hands on the wheel, and I do that. It's not beeping and bonging and making a lot of noises or anytime I change lanes or anything like that. So I appreciate that it, 1, works well, and 2, is not intrusive. Bonus pro out here on the highway. This car is surprisingly quiet inside. It really is. I was impressed when we got on the highway fuel economy test. Compared to something like the Civic, much more refined, much less road noise out here at highway speeds. So, wrapping up my thoughts on the Sentra here. It's a tough car for me, just like a lot of the more recent Nissans have been. Because it's good, it's fine, it does what it needs to. But again, in such a hyper-competitive class, does looking cool sell you more cars than the competition? I don't know. I don't know. And the problem is I don't really know what to tell Nissan to do otherwise. Because they'd say, look, we made a nice-to-drive, subcompact car. It gets fine fuel economy. It's fine to drive. It has the technology that people want. It's got your wireless phone projection. It's got an upgraded sound system. It's got heated seats and steering wheel. It's got 360 cam. It's got comfortable seats. What more do you want? And to a degree, they're right. If you're just buying an S or whatever the mid-range is of this model, yeah, it is totally fine. You're right. But the problem is most of its competition does more than fine. The Civic is more fun to drive. The Corolla is going to be more reliable. The Mazda 3 is more luxurious. The K4 has more features, and the Elantra comes in more fun powertrains and has a longer warranty. What does the Sentra have? Decent looks, comfort. That's kind of it. So, I like the car, but I think this is probably going to be one of the only weeks that it stays up at first spot on the DM Leaderboard, because it is the first car of 2026. Alright, so we don't really need to put it on the Daily Motor Leaderboard. As I said, this is the first car of 2026, so it is taking both the top and bottom spots of the list. But stay tuned for the next few weeks. We've got the Subaru Crosstrek Hybrid coming. That'll be an interesting one compared to this. And then, what else do we have scheduled? Oh, the new Outback. That's coming up. Yeah, should be an exciting year of cars. But this one, it's fine. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last generation of Sentra we see. But I do think it looks better than the Kicks. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the new Sentra, check the link below. We've got that Bose sound system review and our highway fuel economy test. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.